Alright, so I am going to pop the accelerator pump out by first remove the jet that's in the bottom. There's a jet that goes in here. It's got a little ball valve on it, so it will, when pressure pushes down on it, it will stop the flow out of this jet. Pressure release, and it can fill up the chamber here. So to get the accelerator pump out, you can pretty easily take the jet off and push through there, and then you see it'll pop out the other side. You could potentially try to grab it with needle nose pliers on the top here, but here's an original condition one with the leather. Well, I believe it's original condition. You can see the spring in there and where the spring sits. Now let me jump over here to the one I've disassembled and been working on. You can actually see that not only did I tear the leather off, which was disintegrating, because I sat it in the berryman. I'm guessing that maybe it's best just to leave it be. You should have even left the other one be. Now I'm forced to come up with a new solution for this. But anyway, I was trying to get into this fine groove here. I was trying to get the new neoprene seal, and I jammed it in there. I tried to poke it in and everything, but what I found is that the cylinder wall for the accelerated pump piston narrows, and this tapered washer sits on that. So when you push down on your pump, that's what happens. It pushes the piston down. So leather or neoprene will push down and compress the piston. I'll talk later about why there's an internal and a second spring. So what happens in here, and you might be able to see here, but the fluid that's underneath the piston ring, the leather or whatever it is, will get pressed out and get pressed into here. You see that little tiny hole? It will fill up this chamber. This chamber, as you can see, has this little nozzle on it. So fluid essentially gets pushed down, up this way, and then out in a spray of fuel into your... So that's a pretty simple mechanism actually for the accelerator pump, and now that I understand it. But so what happens here, and what's my problem? When I put that blue O-ring on here, it's too wide, and the O-ring gets caught on the circle, and it seems like I've got some action from the top, and this is what happens. But really what's going on is it's not doing anything when you do this, because it works like this. And imagine this is sitting at that cylinder. The part that's supposed to be the piston is not actually moving. It just sits there. And that's what happens when I put the blue neoprene on. So what I've decided to do, because I think this is probably going to work just fine, is instead of putting it on the hard way that it was failing, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do what's easy. So it's loose in here, right? It's kind of wobbling around, but as long as this gets pressure, then it should probably seal up against this here, and it should function normally. So I'm gonna have to cut this video, but I'm gonna start a new one.